Wifey material to me is a positive term. I'm known as wifey material. I've never seen it. And hey, nothing wrong with that. What's wrong with being wifey material?
Shut the fuck up.
Before we get into today's video, I just want to ask, does anybody have any advice on dealing with upstairs neighbors who think they Bigfoot, who want to stomp around banging shit all day? Because I had it to like right here. Anyway, let's get into today's video. My name is Mars, and if you're new here, thank you so much for giving my channel a chance. And if you aren't, thank you so much for coming back and watching another video. I hope I don't disappoint. But I would just like to let you all know that I do my research and I cite my sources. So with that being said, you don't have to take my opinion as fact. You could go do your own research, cite your own sources, and comment your opinions down below. We could talk about it. But anyway, yeah, as per the title of this video, this is going to be focused on heteronormative cisgender relationships. Also, this is going to be a conversation focused on the Black community and our cultural norms. Let's get into this one. Last weekend, our favorite rapper Lil Durk proposed to his girlfriend, well now fiance, India Royale on stage, live in concert, and it made headlines. You know, because everybody was already following this relationship as goals. You know how people are with Black love and the Instagram goals of it all, the 3 songs he got titled after her, and the novelty of it all. Like, you don't really get to see a lot of rappers flaunting their girls and how much they love them so openly. But thanks to the very public proposal, we now have an onslaught of men online coming to remind women who see themselves in India that they are in fact nothing like her. And I just want to know,
how would they know? How would they know?
These are just a few of the screenshots that I have. You bitches are not wifey material like India. Get off Durk and India. Y'all little bitches not wifey material. Y'all love free hookah and seafood. My bad. I didn't know India didn't like free hookah and seafood. Since these men are breaking their backs to tell women that they aren't wifey material like India, I want to know.
What do you mean by that?
What the fuck do they mean by that? Since as long as I can remember, women have had to bear the brunt of everything wrong in relationships nowadays. If you can't find a man, it's because you're too promiscuous, too aggressive, too emotional, too assertive. Or, to simplify it, you just aren't wifey material. Usually, when someone is telling you that you're not wifey material, it's in response to a complaint you made about your treatment in a relationship. For example, if you say, I was with this man for a year, and he never once took me on a date. Guess whose fault that is? Yours. I guess you simply weren't worth it. If you complain about wasting your time on a man who could never commit to a relationship, that's no fault of his. You just weren't wifey material. The idea of wifey material allows men to escape accountability by saying that your character wasn't worthy of the treatment that wifeys get. So it's become socially acceptable to excuse emotional abuse if men chalk it up to the fact that the women receiving said abuse weren't worthy of being treated like a person. The term wifey material is subjective, making it highly effective in reinforcing patriarchal dominance in society. Let's start by defining what wifey material is. The most accurate definition of the phrase that I found in terms of how we use it in society was found on urbandictionary.com, and it says, a loyal female who hasn't slept around, cleans, cooks, funny, smart, intelligent, and loving. Also kind, sweet, and caring. But a definition that I found on marriage.com says a woman should have maturity, financial responsibility, a willingness to stand by you through difficult times, and so on. I find it interesting that I could only find one definition that explicitly said that a woman who is wifey material shouldn't sleep around, because in our society, I feel like that's one of the most important things when it comes to what people define as wife.
I would have never wifed
the
that.
actor.
I would have never wifed that.
Eddie Winslow.
I would have never wifed that. She has so many dicks in her mouth, B. I don't want to wife up no hoe. All right?
I would have to go date Susan Wojcicki, the chick who's the CEO of YouTube.
She's a respectable businesswoman. Ain't no has no thought.
I'm like, well, yeah, you kind of got trapped by a stripper too, because that was your girl at one point. And I mean,
well, technically, he didn't have a kid with her.
He didn't have a kid with her, but still, you was wifing her, like really wifing her.
When you see men talk about turning a hoe into a housewife, that's implying that women who sleep around aren't wifey material solely on the fact that they have had a lot of sexual partners. You see women talk about how they're not like other girls, which always means that they think they're better than other girls because of the fact that they haven't slept with a lot of men. So I did find it funny that they left that out. But I like how on marriage.com they included the phrase willingness to stand by you through difficult times, because that's the catch-22 of wifey material in a nutshell. A lot of women get sucked into relationships that lack reciprocation and love because they feel like they have to prove that they're wifey material to be treated as such. That's what makes it so insidious, because the exact same things that men claim to want in a woman are the same exact things that allow women to get used and manipulated in the pursuit of being wifey material. I mean, because by these definitions, the women who are bending over backwards for men and complain about it not being appreciated or reciprocated in the way they feel they deserve are in fact wifey material, right? Someone willing to stay with you for 3 years while you work on your emotional availability isn't sticking with you through thick and thin like y'all say y'all want in a wifey. Someone who puts up with you not paying a singy. Someone who puts up with you not paying a single penny to treat her to nice things or take her on a date. That's not a woman who's compassionate, has empathy, who's willing to stick by your side no matter what. Like, that's not exactly what you said you wanted in a wifey. I find that hard to believe. But if the standard definition of wifey material isn't in fact what wifey material is, then oopsies, could y'all see my stomach? But if the standard accepted definitions of what wifey material is aren't really wifey material, then what is? Let's start with Smirks and India's relationship and what he said initially attracted him to her, instead of all of the other women who he's had access to over the years. I'm gonna insert a clip, and he says something I feel like is really important and overlooked in our society and dating culture, but we need to examine it and unpack it. And why the idea of not having a lot of sexual partners is so important to men who subscribe to the idea of wifey material.
What made you first speak to her?
I had DM'd her before, right? So we started talking. Then, you know, I'm thinking I'm me, like, all right, this Chicago, this what it is. It might can turn me down. She told me, like, I gotta cut you off because I gotta get my shit together. So when she stopped talking to me, I ain't gonna lie, it turned me on. I'm like, damn.
So he's pursuing women with the intention of not really getting to know any of these women, just having sex with them. And he's turned on by the fact that she cut him off. A lot of relationship stories follow this formula of men having to chase a woman for months before they get together, and that being a reason why he's more attracted. And you know the saying that a man has to love you before you even like him? I mean, this is literally that saying in word. I think we need to dissect that. Why does a woman show an interest in you without you having to bend over backwards makes her less worthy of love from you? The message that sends men is that no isn't really no. You just gotta keep trying until you get a chance, which is really problematic for a lot of reasons. Because what about the situations where women really just don't want you? Why then does your desire for her become more important than the boundaries that she set for herself? Ask a man why that is, and he has answers like, nothing good comes easy. The mystery is the best part, and shit like that. It's just weird to me that if a woman is interested without a chase, then it's considered easy. Or the fact that the most interesting part about a woman to some people is the fact that they had to chase her. It's the erasure of the many aspects of womanhood for me. Every part of these relationship success stories is rooted in a woman's sexuality and the access or lack of access that men have to it. That's even something that Durk talks about when he's asked what his favorite thing about India is. He says that he loves that she respects herself as a woman, which he says by saying that she doesn't do certain things, not so that it doesn't embarrass Lil Durk. She does it so that she doesn't embarrass herself. This is definitely tied to her sexuality, and whether that be about what she chooses to post on Instagram, because you know a lot of rappers' girlfriends are really open with their sexuality, especially on their Instagram accounts, because that's how they make money. Or maybe he's talking about how she made him wait to have sex with her. Keep in mind that they are about to get married now. And if she was the exact same woman, but slept with him in the beginning, he probably wouldn't even be with her because according to him, his favorite part about her is now gone, her respect for herself. I just want to point out that I think it's weird that when he's asked what his favorite part about her is, he doesn't say it's the way she carries herself as a mother. It isn't her ambition. It isn't her being an entrepreneur. It isn't the way she doesn't feel pressured to fit in like a lot of other people do. It's about what she does with her body. And don't get me wrong, it's fine to like that, but that's your favorite thing about the woman you're going to marry, that she's more conservative with her sexuality. I'm sorry, but if my man was asked what his favorite thing about me is, I want him to say something that's more personal to me. Like how Spider-Man did when MJ asked him in that new Spider-Man movie. I know a lot of y'all probably didn't see it, and I can't insert a clip because the movie just came out, but when MJ asked him, like, what do you like about me? Oh my God, it was so personal and so cute. I was just like, oh my God. It was so cute. And I think it's funny that his favorite part about her is like something that he's absolutely not. Like he's far from conservative with his body. So it's just a double standard, right? I also want to look at Nicki's response to Durk saying this because it's a perfect example of a woman internalizing wifey culture.
Thank you for saying how fucking sexy it is when a woman knows her worth and the worth of her, and don't be out there slinging it in everybody's fucking blood clot face.
Tying a woman's sexuality to whether or not she respects herself is just so problematic because that's hoe culture in a nutshell. Like, people be fucking horny. That's just that. When men do it, it's understood and it's respected because they can just say that the woman that they're doing it with and not committing to, they just weren't wifey material. They just weren't worth it. And no one holds it against them. And a lot of these women who hold up the fact that they're not sleeping with men and they're getting all these relationships from it are glossing over the fact that you essentially had to force this man to listen to you and to like you because you withheld sex. I think that's weird. And I think we need to talk about that because it shows a lack of respect for you as a human that you had to not have sex with him just to get him to listen to you because the promise of sex in the future is really what kept him around, and they don't have to do that with other men. So, and then there's the aspect of the women who are considered being wifey material getting dogged out. They wife these girls solely based on their inaccessibility to them and to other men, and then cheat on them. And then when these women call out men for shit like that, the blame is flipped back on them because then it's like, you're just choosing the wrong men. Okay. And I really hate that. Why is that acceptable for men to use women as placeholders and take advantage of them? And it's not like they're telling them that they don't like them the whole time. They're telling them that they like them. And like, they need to just hold it down until they're ready for a relationship or they're ready for the next commitment or whatever. And it's just like, that's manipulative and it's emotionally abusive and it's excused and it's tolerated and it's accepted as normal, and it's not fucking normal. Because if I don't like a man, I'm not going to lead him on. Like, it's not going to go far at all. You know, they deserve better. And why do you have to be someone's wife to go on a date? Why do you have to be someone's wife to be treated with kindness, for them to like you, for them to respect your boundaries? You have to be someone's wife. For them to care about you emotionally, you have to be someone's wife. That's basic shit. Like, why are we acting like these things actually have to be earned? I don't have to earn these things from my friends. Why the would I sit around bending over backwards to prove to a man that I'm worthy of the bare minimum? Like, the bar's in hell. And there's the reaction to wifey culture that is the pick-me's, which I feel like is something that Nicki was kind of doing in that video. But it's the women who flaunt their so-called wifey material status, and it's so degrading. I have this clip from The Real, and I'm not even gonna include Tammy's part, if that's even her name, because oh my gosh, she annoys me so bad. Like, but Tamira says something, and I think it's a really important perspective.
Yeah. Like, wifey material to me is a positive term. I'm known as wifey material. I've never seen it. And hey, nothing wrong with that. What's wrong with being wifey material?
She thinks wifey material is a compliment, but it's so many women who have been, complimented by being called wifey material in the past, who've grown up and been like, you know what, like that actually was not the flex I thought it was back in the day. So I don't know if she just hasn't grown out of that yet, or if she's still wearing it as a badge of honor or whatever. But it keeps you in competition with other women, and it can be used as a way for men to put you on hold. But at the end of the clip, the women on the reel say they're reclaiming it, so that wifey material is specific to whatever man it is you're dating, and I think that's 100% true. If you want to be wifey material, you have to be the version of yourself that you love the most, because you want your partner to love you for you. They can't love you because of the mind games you play, because of your relationships to other men, or because of your sexuality. They should be able to tell you exactly what they love about you. This isn't easy, and I'm not telling you how to live your life, because this shit gets lonely. I'm just saying that it's exhausting trying to be something that you think other people will like or want. Just be your self. If that means hooking up on the first date, expressing how much you like him, paying for a date or two, but if it's not reciprocated, leave. We aren't here for unrequited love and for men to tell us that they let us be the best version of ourselves just for them to turn around a year from now and be like, well, you aren't exactly wifey material. But yes, if you made it to the end of this video, thank you, and I got a little treat for you.
Okay, I made a motherfucking statement. If you don't like my statement, bitch, unfriend me and don't go telling your fat, sloppy, nasty body ass friend what the fuck I said.